Welcome to Missouri River Bottom by River Bottom Customs. I'm BP, and today we start a new Let's Play series. Alright, today is a big day. Let's take a look what we have to start with. Looking at the PDA, we have the starter farm, which is farmland 54. We have cornfield 18, another cornfield 17, and soybeans in field 11. We did start with a $1.5 million loan. We used $1 million of that to procure the farm and have a cash balance of $500,000. As far as starting equipment, we need to head to the shop and start purchasing some vehicles. So, what are we looking for? Probably need a tractor. Probably need, oh, that looks good. I have a harvester here that could be a good fit. We're going to need a trailer to carry the crops from the field. Take a look and see what we can get. Oh, there's a good fit. We have the Titan corn header that will go with the lizard harvester. So maybe we just pick that up to get started. There are a couple of rules for the playthrough. Initially, for the first year, we can do 3 contracts a day. After the first year, we can only do 1 contract if we still need to. So we have some ability to get some income. Certainly harvesting is going to be one of our primary jobs. So let's see what we can get figured out with this harvester. All right. 250,000 liter capacity sounds good. 3,000 horsepower engine. I think that's a little bit too much for us. Take that down to 1,500. As far as tires go, always like a BKT. Nice wide tire. Ooh, the front twins do look nice. There's an even bigger set of front twins. That's a good look right there. We'll pass on the camo. Like the US setup. A little tint on the window. Blinking beacon lights. Black exhaust. Definitely the long pipe. We're going to be looking for a bigger header setup for this map. All the fields are pretty large. Now, as far as colors go, I like to color code my farms. So let's start with this blue and see what happens if we mix in a little bit of black here. Change that to dark moon as well. Pipe color, I feel like should match the rest of the harvester. Design color, a dark moon. Interior, we definitely want that black. And rim color, black as well. I think that's a pretty nice looking harvester. Now we ended up at $506,000 because we went with the case. So let's get that swapped off. Head back to the standard. Oh, we got to redo some of the colors here. So we'll go with the design color. Let's throw it back on the custom color. I think that looks pretty good. Got our custom license plate. All right, I think that's going to be good for our first purchase. So let's go ahead and pick that up. $206,000. And before we decide what we want to pick up next, maybe we should take a quick look at contracts. I think that's a nice looking harvester there. All right, in regards to contracts. Okay, so we don't have anything that's come up yet. So maybe what we should do is start taking some equipment back to the farm and see what comes up throughout the day. We are running better contracts, so we should have a couple more coming up here soon. All right, so we did see at the bottom, 17.4 meters, a Macdown head. That's a nice one. We did see earlier that there was a corn header on here. It's a 13.8 meter. That's the Colossus. It matches the tractor. All right, matches the harvester. Go with brand is fine. Let's make that color match. And what do we think about black for the design color? Should that one be blue? Well, I think we'll leave it as blue. Go ahead and pick that up. I think after that, we need to find some sort of tractor. Want something a little bit larger. Something that can go pretty quick since we're on a big map. See if there's anything in here that might work. Lots of options, but nothing. That may be a good option for picking up straw. We do have the extended straw mod on, so we can also pick it up at contracts, which is a nice bonus. Got a forage header. Well, let's see. Spreader is not a bad option either. But I'm not seeing a tractor that's going to meet our needs. Anything down here at the bottom? No, that's a nice truck. Has good capacity. Maybe we'll pick that up. Oh, I do like this mod. The F450 by JJ is very nice. Maybe we'll pick that up later. All right, so in regards to tractors, we'll come in, look at the large tractors. We have a couple of options in regards to things that can go pretty quick and have good power. This one's not bad. It is 327,000, so we'd have to pick up another loan to pick up some equipment, which we sort of knew we were going to have to do anyways. So let's see. Is there anything else in here that might work? I think for right now, that one might be the better option, though. I do wonder. We go to medium tractors. There's the Deutz that comes in. That's got decent horsepower, goes up to 650. A couple of Deutz mods here. That same price. Let's see what this one does. All right, Warrior. We don't need the Warrior package. That is 287 horsepower. 580. It's pretty expensive. We're going to have to get a loan for that. So let's see. Let's go pick up a loan. Let's get $250,000 and see what that gets us as far as a couple of tractors. Some other equipment, trailers, things we're going to need around the farm. So let's go back out here. Take a quick look. Let's take out another loan. Take this one. $250,000. Let's repay it over. Well, let's do over 3 years. I'll probably do even less than that and get away with it. Payments aren't too bad. So it's $10,000 a month. That'll push us up, and we can also pay it back ahead of time if we want to. So go ahead and take that loan. Go ahead and look at picking up the Deutz. Don't need the Warrior. Don't know that we want electric. Yeah, let's go with the tuning. Medium. I'm a fan of wide tires with weights. Don't want any logos. And like I said before, we like the tractors and the equipment to match. So let's go ahead and get these kitted up in black and blue. Rim color. Jet black looks good. All right. Now we have tractor as well. I wonder if we can find a contract to get started on here. Let's take a quick look. Oh, I wonder if we're struggling to get a contract because the time is down. Let's bring the time up a little bit and see if that helps generate some new contracts. I did notice we have this stone picking contract on field 30. Let's take a look at that. So field 30 is all the way up here at the top. And it wouldn't be bad to pick that up. We don't have an auto drive course for this map, so it would give us a chance to start building an auto drive. Of course, we're down here at the shop in the bottom right corner. We'd have to take the road all the way up and track it over and get to field 30. So that'd give us a good portion of the map, at least get going on. And I did see that we had a nice stone picker in the sale. It's a modded one. It's got some extended width and capacity, so that'll make short work of it. Here it is right here for 30,000. And that actually wouldn't be a bad pickup considering we would be making $70,000 on the contract. So let's see. Let's increase the capacity. We don't want the plows on there as usual. Let's go ahead and get the colors set up the way they need to be. I think we want those with black, and rims, we want to go black as well. All right, I think we're good to go there. So let's go ahead and pick that up. And now that we have that, we can head back out. We got our Deutz over here. Let's go take a look at that. We're starting to get a little bit of equipment built up here. We have a nice tractor, a great harvester. Let's go ahead and pick up that contract for stone picking for 73,000. I think that's going to be a good start for us. Get a little cash coming back in. All right, so here we go. Let's get this bad boy fired up and get connected up to our stone picker. All right. The roads on this map are a little bit narrow, so I'm thinking maybe we go ahead and make all of these courses for auto drive 2 lanes or 2 ways rather than 2 lanes. And then that way we can not have to worry about vehicles running into each other. So we'll start with a quick loop here. Just get started. This will get us back to the shop. Maybe put a quick waypoint in here as the shop. And then just make a big loop so we can get back out to where we started. Alright. And if we get back on here, that's a good start. Now we want to connect our path up here before we leave. I like to put in a couple of one-ways on our 2-way paths to make sure our loops go the right way. So by making that section one direction, we know all the vehicles are going to loop clockwise and make sure that we don't have them end up someplace silly or they miss any triggers later. So from here, we're going to head up to field 30 and go ahead and get that done. So I'll see you guys there. Okay, here we are at field 30. I'm going to go ahead and drop a waypoint here. If you take a look at the map, you can see I dropped a couple of waypoints along our route. Right now, we'll leave them all in the general display. As we get more, we'll probably go to folders for auto drive and get those sorted out. But that'll at least get us a route around most of the map and get us to most of the places we need to go. So let's go ahead and get this thing unfolded. As I mentioned, it has a pretty significant working width. Oh, forgot to turn off auto drive. We can just turn that off here and delete those. Let's go ahead and get rid of those extra points here. We're going to use horseplay for our field work. And I like to start just before a corner and have a little bit extra done So if we're making any adjustments on the start, we don't miss anything. So take a quick swing through, get all the way through here, and then just back up a little bit and get that set up. Since this is the first course we've done with this vehicle, we're going to go ahead and get the settings in place for it. So want to make sure we have return to starting point on, raise tools late, lower tools early. And since this tractor is going to be mostly field work, light type work, we're going to go ahead and get the speeds turned up. So we want the field work speed to be just about 25 miles an hour. Field work driving just about 20. We always go to 13 for our turn speed and just under 10 miles an hour for our reversing. Then come over, we'll get this course set up. Even with this large machine, I think we should probably do 2 headlands. We can have rounded corners. And let's go ahead and generate that course. All right, looks good. Go ahead and get him started. Make sure he takes off all right and gets the first corner done. All right, he's moving pretty well, up to speed. And we can use these rocks back on our farm to make some lime when he's all done, which will help with some of our field work later. It is worth mentioning at this stage that we do have all of the settings on. So crop destruction, periodic plowing, field stones, lime, weeds. We will disable disaster destruction. Not a feature that I enjoy playing with, but we should be good to go with that. All right, let's make sure this guy gets around his first pass. Let's see what else comes up on the contract menu, what else comes up for sale. I wonder what else is in this sale. I don't think we got all the way to the bottom. Let's maybe start at the bottom and start working our way back up. Both of these trucks are great options. May come back and pick one of those up. You know, for $11,300, this is going to be tough to pass up. Maybe we just pick that up now. Let's see. Let's get some heavies on there. In regards to the bumper, do like the bumper lights. That does look good. I don't know that we need a custom grill. As far as the exhaust goes, I think we're probably good with flat tops. I don't like visors because I do some in-cab driving. Hood ornaments, Swan's great. Cab panels, I wonder if we can get those painted to match. Let's just keep those painted. No antennas, cab lights. That looks pretty good. Oh, I do like the 9, that's good. Factory seats, legacy. I don't think we need to spend $1,500 on that. We'll give this truck number 1 in case we do pick up a couple more. And let's give it, well, what was the capacity of our harvester? We want to be able to carry a couple loads out of that. So let's leave it at 600K for right now. Come in, select. Yeah, I do like those panels painted. Let's just check that though. Yeah, let's leave those painted. Has a license plate, and away we go. So just under 20K for a truck we can use to haul stuff back to the silo and off of contracts. Got a nice mower here. Don't know if we do any of that. It's a great plow here. That's the 16-meter header. That's a good header. We may pick that up. Some of the MacDon ones can be a little bigger, but that's a very good option. So let's see. Do we have another header? Got the lizard. That's the rice one. We don't want that one. We're not doing sunflowers just yet, so we'll pass on that. The Grissoni is nice. Not sure how I feel a folding header on this map. Here's the MacDon. That's the 19.2. That's the big one. I think we go with that one. It's a good price on it. It's 65% off. Yeah, let's take a look at that. We definitely want the transport wheels. The brand's fine. Work lights, I'm not even sure what those do, so we'll leave those off. We'll get the color palette to match, make it look nice with the rest of the setup. Go jet black on the decals right there on the end. That looks pretty good. 62K for a 19-meter header sounds like a good deal to me. Let's go ahead and buy that. All right. So now we've got our harvester. We got a corn header. We've got a grain header, and we have a truck. We got a tractor and a stone picker. The stone picker's already working well. It's made a lot of progress, a third of the way through. What other contracts have popped up? Oh, a bunch of stuff has come up. Harvesting. All right, this is what we were looking for. 112,000. Pick up some oats out of field 34 and take them to the Phelps grain elevator, which is up at top. So let's go ahead and grab that contract. And anything else look good while we're in here? There's a hoeing contract for 113K. That might be worth it, but since we're only going to take 3 contracts a day, maybe we want to grab something that gives us a little grain, something that'll keep us, give us a little extra cash on the end. But that's a pretty good contract, so we'll keep an eye on that one. All right, so let's go ahead and get this stuff headed back the right direction towards the farm. So I think we put the corn header on the harvester. Then we flip around here and we go ahead and grab the other header and pull it all back. So let me get this pulled back to the farm and I'll meet you guys there. All right, here we are making the turn down to the farm. I'm going to go ahead and pick up the auto drive course here, connect it so we have a nice route going down. See how this goes with the corn header on. Go ahead and pull up through here. Let's go ahead and clean up that corner a little bit here. Couple of those got missed. Let's see what we got. Alright. And then lastly, we want to be able to go straight both directions. We'll connect that up that way. Alright. Let's see if we can squeeze this corn header down here between the trees and the poles. I think it's going to be a little bit tight. And here we are pulling into the farm for the first time. Got our large silo up on the right. Got our diesel tank right there next to the silo pit. We've got our workshop here on the left. Our house just past that, and our large cold shed on the end there. I did make a couple of customizations to the farm. I left the buildings as they were, but did change the color and add solar panels. I did move the diesel tank from its location over here to over there by the silo. It is noteworthy that there are a couple of mods required. Both this workshop and that shed are required mods for this map, so make sure you have those if you want to play. But right now, let's go ahead and get this parked up. I'm going to drop the grain head here and go ahead and take the corn head, just put it in the back. Get us a little path going back through the farm. I think maybe just straight down for right now. Clean it up later. Let's go ahead and put that down. Let's drop a waypoint here for our farm shed. And we'll go ahead and stop recording. Alright, let's put the auto drive course away real quick. Let's go pick up that grain header. I want to check in on our worker, but he seems to be making good progress. He's up to 81% on that stone picking contract. We'll grab this grain header and head out to field 34 and get that contract started. Also get our grain hauler headed that way as well once we get this one set up. So let's take a look and see. We have a pretty good auto drive course set up right now. So if I pull up the map, I think that corner right there might be field 34. So come in here, field 34, and we'll send him off. Great, he'll be there when we get there. Let's flip over and check on our worker. Seems to be doing well. Got 36,000 liters of stones. That'll make some good lime for us later on for our fields. And he's just cruising along, so let's let him get back to work, and we'll go ahead and grab our truck. So this thing sounds pretty good. It is a little beat up. Maybe we'll go ahead and take care of that. Yeah, the paint job on this one's a little rough, so maybe we get the mobile shop open here and give it a quick spray and get it repaired. Start the season off well. Oh yeah, that looks way better. That's a nice looking truck. So, all right, let's jump in. Let's go ahead and check. All our courses connected there. And this harvesting contract, where is it going? Should check that. So it's going to head all the way up north to the Phelps City elevator. So I know there's an elevator down here. The Viterra sell point. So maybe we should loop up there and just grab that as far as a auto drive course and have that in case we get it on the next one, since we're already down here. And we have just a minute to get going on the other one. So I'm going to go ahead and loop that course in, and I'll catch up with you guys at field 34 when we get that contract started. All right, he's out to field 34. Looks like our stone picker is done with this contract, but we should go check on him before we get started. All right. The stone picking is done. We can go ahead and collect on that contract. That one is complete. $73,311. Not bad. And it looks like we picked up 45, almost 46,000 liters in stone. So we're going to go ahead and send him back to the farm, get him rolling. Not sure what the yield on this field is going to be. Looks like there's some pretty big weeds in it, but we'll get it fixed up either way. Alright. So we'll get this guy set up in the field. Get his course going. Oh, got a little bit of straw off the field. We'll get that picked up. Alright. Let's get this guy situated. Again, this is our first time with this vehicle, so we want to make sure return to start point, late raise, early pickup, or early, lower, and late pickup. And then as far as speeds for harvesters, set them at 24. We may have to bring it down a little bit based on the speed of the field. Maybe we should start at 21. The driving on the field, they can go up to about 20. Again, turns at 13. And reversing at 9. He's all set there. And we want to do 2 headlands. Don't want any rounded corners. Want to get as much of that crop off the field as we can. So with all that in mind, get that set in. Oh, that looks like a good course. Going the right direction. Get him started. Let's see how he does on his first corner. Nice job getting deep in that corner and getting all that crop out. Looks like we're harvesting some oat for this contract. I will say, particularly with some of the larger headers or the modified headers, the harvester matters. A lot of times it can't find the edge, it can't find the corner, and it leads to really sloppy harvesting, but this Colossus harvester has done a great job and never lets me down. Ah, we have a standoff. Alright, well, let's get the tractor out of the way. This is the challenge with having everything be a two-way course. If the driver doesn't look far enough ahead, it will head down a single lane and run into the next driver. Get him back on track and jump over and follow this guy up. I'm thinking while we wait for the harvester to be full, because it has a pretty high capacity, maybe we should drive up and get the course set up for the drop-off of all these oats. Let's take a look at that. So we have an auto drive course heading down that way. And the Phelps elevator should be all the way up at the top of the map. So let's go ahead and get this course set up, and then we can use course play and auto drive together to get this guy where he needs to go and get all of the product delivered. We got a couple that are too close together again. Let's back up and get a better look. Alright. Don't need that guy connected anymore. Want to make sure this route is bi-directional. And then, of course, we want them to be able to go straight as well. Alright, that intersection's all set. Alright. Let's go up and get set up at the Phelps elevator. I'll see you guys there. Alright, so here we are pulling into the Phelps elevator. Dropped a waypoint there for the field. Just keep our auto drive network building with more and more locations. If we get in by these trees, we'll zoom in a little bit. Again, want to make sure you swing wide. Get your trucks in straight to the drop points. Nice straight shot in. This is a narrow one too. Alright, and the actual name of the elevator is the Phelps City Elevator. So we'll go ahead and drop our waypoint. And then we gotta figure out how we're gonna get this guy out of here. That corner might be a little tight to take if we're in a big truck. It looks like we'll head up here and loop around. going to send this guy back to field 34. Get him set up to be the harvester. And while we do that, we'll send the Deutz back to the shop and maybe pick up a forage wagon to start handling all that straw we're going to have off that contract. So that's not a bad deal. 48K. I've modified it so it holds a bunch of loose material. The working width is only 20.8, which I'm wondering on these fields, and it requires 250 horsepower. How much horsepower does our Deutz have? Let's see. I have to look that one up. Let's see. I can find it here. 580 horsepower, so we're in good shape there. So we could run that one. We could pick up that Rapide wagon and run it to get all of our straw. Let's take a look at this one. So definitely want the extension. I don't know, 100 million liters seems like a lot. Is that 100 million? Let's see. Yeah, that's 100 million. That seems like too much. So maybe we'll go with 5 million. And get some big tires on it. We want the windrower. We want the extra width. Chassis color, we're going to color match like everything else. As far as the arms go, I'd assume we want those black. Rims, we're going to go black as well. I think that's what we're looking for. 63,000, holds 5 million liters. I think that's going to be more than what we're going to need, so it'll be in good shape for us. Let's go ahead and buy that. All right, that'll be at the shop waiting when it gets down there. While we're in here, anything else we should be looking at? I've been through this a couple of times. That's the fuel tank for the Ford at the bottom. Where would that Ford go? It'd be nice just to have an all-around pickup truck. It is 58K. We're down to 94,000. We got a couple of things we got to figure out. So maybe we hold off on that for right now and just see where we end up. All right. The Deutz made it down. Let's go ahead and get this guy all connected. All right, let's send him off to field 34. And while he's doing that, maybe we take a look at the contract, see if anything else has popped up. There's a fertilizing contract for 159K. That's a good contract. We don't have a spreader, though. The hoeing contract for 113 is still there. 174 for spraying. Really hoping for another harvesting contract, something a little better than that one. Well, let's see what we get. We'll keep an eye on it. There are some good options. Another 86,000 for fertilizing, 88. So, you know, maybe we do pick up a fertilizer and see what we can do. But for right now, let's go check on the harvester. All right, so the harvester's doing well. It's 70% full. Now, we did all that work to get this guy set up, and now what we want to do is have him empty our harvester. Eventually, we'll get a grain bin for on the field, maybe with a quad track or a 9RX or something pulling it. But right now, just getting started out, we got that big loan out there. We got to sort of make do with what we have. So go ahead and get this guy in the field. I know I have to have this back open before we get started. And then what we're going to want to do is we're going to set him up to unload the combine. So that's all set on horseplay. And then we come over here on auto drive. And if I change this over and we make this the drop point, and we make sure we tell them we want it to be oats, and then set to course play. This guy will go self-unload on that course we just set up, so we'll be all set to have that done. We'll be in great shape. So he's set and waiting for the harvester to make the call. The harvester, I suspect, is going to be making the call. Well, we could probably even figure that out. Was it about 80%? Yeah, call and loader at 80%, so it'll be coming soon. We are here. So let's go ahead and get this guy set up. The windrower on this thing looks so cool. Get it lowered. Start heading around. The really nice thing about this mod, we had this back in Farm Sim 22 and it's been converted for Farm Sim 25. The windrower attachments have no collisions, so you can get right up to the edge of the field, work around your parked vehicles, everything else. It's just a very nice setup. But we're going to get this guy over here. Oh, there goes our truck to pick up our oat off the harvester. Alright, so I think this guy should do, oh, maybe one lap around, because I think the headland's going to be too wide. We want him to kick in behind the harvester to pick up the rest. So let's get that set up. We want one headland. I want all the corners sharp, get all that straw up. That's going to be a good additional money maker for us. Create course. Looks good. We have our start here, and it's going to end up top, so it should be following the harvester. And we will go ahead and kick his speed down just a little bit. We want his speed to be just slightly below the harvester so he doesn't catch him. Alright, he is... Nope, still figuring out where we are. Alright, he is off. Let him get around the first corner, make sure he lines up okay. Then we can go check in on our harvester, which should be emptying right now as we speak. Yeah, he's good to go. Let's check in on the harvester. This is where having the long pipe on the harvester is going to come in key. Be able to reach just past the edge of that header and get right into the back of this truck. You know what we didn't do? We didn't tell the combine to sit still while it unloads. Luckily, our truck can keep up. Here we are, unloading on the fly. Didn't even mean to. Let's switch over to that harvester and get that fixed. Let's see. Stop driving while unloading. Let's go ahead and get that set up. Alright, well, got the harvester running, got the wagon over there picking up the straw, and the truck just gave us an empty, so we'll let everything keep running, and we'll check in with you when there's progress. Here we are with unload number 2 of the combine. Truck should be coming up here. There we go. And we should be right back to work. We'll check in again at the end. Alright, here we are. Looks like we're going to be just shy. Got 4,245 liters left over in the bin, or in the hopper. Let's jump over to the truck and see what it does. Alright, so at this stage, the truck should be recognizing that it's full and should be switching over to auto drive to head up and empty. There goes our forage wagon picking up all of our straw. Should be done here shortly as well. I think one of the things we need to do is increase our truck speed in the field. Give it a quick boost here and get everything moving. Alright, so we'll start wrapping up the first episode. A lot of good work done so far. We have another contract to pick up for next time. I was looking at a fertilizing contract. This one right here for 159 seems to be the best option we have. We didn't get anybody harvesting contracts. The hoeing contracts don't really offer much either. There's a spraying contract, but we don't have the equipment to do that, and there is a spreader in the sale that would work great, and then we'd have that on the farm. So I think in preparation for next episode, we'll go ahead and pick this up. I'm going to lease the equipment only because we have the additional supplies mod on that will give us a couple of pallets of fertilizer to get us started. And for $1,439, we'll get 3 pallets of fertilizer, which is more than that fertilizer. That would cost more than that to just buy the 3 flats to begin with. So we'll go ahead and pick that up. We'll lease the equipment and get the fertilizer. In the next episode, we'll continue working on building up our contract bunny. We'll do a little work around the farm, maybe even do a full farm tour. We'll start establishing, routes on our farm, where we're going to park stuff, flush out our auto drive network, and really go from there. Not sure we'll get into cattle right away, but I definitely want to do some beef cattle on this map. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Silage harvests on these fields will be quite enjoyable. So let's go ahead and check and see how the rest of this goes with delivering our oats up to the Phelps elevator. As you can see, our auto drive course is working, and our integration with Horseplay is functioning as intended as well. And here's the moment of truth. We should have a little left over after this contract to take back to our silo. And then we had that 4,000 liters left over in the harvester as well we can pick up. May hold on to that. May see if we get into some flour or some bakery items. Or maybe we just wait and find the best sell time and just sell it for straight profit. But either way, good to have a little bit in reserve. Hold back a little bit. Make sure we have options. So I'll see you when this is wrapping up. So, delivered all of the oats. We're going to have about 115,000 liters left over we can put in our own silo and hold on to for later. This guy is heading back to the field and should continue offloading the harvester. We'll check on our windrower and see if we got all the straw. And probably call it a day for the first episode here on River Bottom Farms. So, if you like the content and would like to see more, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. What did you like? What can we do differently? What content do you want to see in the future? And thanks so much from me to you, and hope to see you on the next one. Have a great day, guys.